Hi, welcome. We're so happy to have all the seniors here, well, at least a few of them here with us. Congratulations, you made it through. We're so happy for you, and I know all of you got into great schools. So we just wanted to spend a little time with you, just talk, just to see what your plans are for the future and how things are going. So it's me today, and we have VP Chris. He's joining us also. He'll be here with us, meeting this time. So VP Chris, do you have any questions or is there anything you'd like to say?
Sure, no, we're just so excited that you guys are here. We just have a few questions we want to ask, as Pastor David was saying earlier. But we want to start with the basics, okay? Just introduce your name and then the university that you got accepted into. Let's just start with that, all right?
Hello, I'm Mint. I'm the 12th grade about to graduate, and so some of the universities I was accepted into was Wisconsin Medicine, UC샌디에고, and UC Irvine. I'm just selecting between them.
Hello, my name is Erin Choi and I'm currently in 12th grade and I got accepted to Georgia-Tech Computer Science, Washington University in St. Louis Computer Science, UC, and UC샌디에go.
Hi, my name is Ray Lee, and I'm a senior, and some of the universities that I got accepted to was University of Toronto and University of Connecticut.
Hello, my name is Kyla Ko. I got into University of Texas Austin and University of Washington in Seattle.
Hello, my name is Andy Choi, and I got accepted to Pennsylvania State University and Keystone University.
You guys got into very good schools, so again, congratulations. Is there one that you guys have decided to go to, and could you guys tell us why you chose that school?
I was having some decisions and some conflicts between choosing these universities, and the one that I specifically chose to go to was University of Toronto. And the reason why I chose this place was because it's #1 university in Canada, and as someone who has Canadian citizenship, it was the best offer for me. And the life science program in University of Toronto was really a great opportunity for me to get closer. So although there was another university which was called Guelph, which had better pre-veterinary medicine and animal science related programs, but I believe the University of Toronto's life science program was a better fit because it's a more overall good school. So that's the reason why I chose University of Toronto.
I'm going to follow up question on this one already.
Yeah.
Because Ray and I have talked a little bit about this. What brought your passion to this particular life science as a major?
Well, ever since I was a kid, I was always interested in animals or other living beings, and that's basically the only things that were really interesting me when I was a kid. I never really was interested in any sports, or I never really went out to play in a playground with other kids or anything, but these animals related things were always something that I was going on to. So I thought these life science is the best fit for me, although there are some hard parts to it. Yes.
So, Andy, let's hear from you. What university are you choosing? What major are you going into?
So right now I'm considering between Penn State and Keystone, and I'm kind of like talking to some teachers and my parents because the two majors I was accepted to is really different. So I dreamed of becoming something that could help people, and I was thinking of becoming an inventor or some medical worker. So currently at Penn State, I was accepted to computer engineering. Keystone, I got into pre-med, but since both fields are very different in considering among them.
Wow. Those are two very different things. But that's so cool, the versatility that you have been able to be accepted into two different programs. That's awesome.
Andy, I have a follow-up question. When or why has that become very important to you? Like your goal to help people?
Since I was 5 years old, I played with these Lego bricks and stuff and making things. As I grew up, I look around and I thought that making things, even inventions, these can help people a lot. And also my parents were patent workers, so they had to do a lot of inventions and technology. So they taught me to grow up knowing that how a lot of people made things that help people. Starting with like the light bulbs that in this room were made from medicine. Those like countries like Africa where they can't get clean water, they have these life straws or these pills that purify the water. So those things are inventions, and I was very interested in those fields.
Kyla, how about you?
I chose to attend University of Texas at Austin with biology major. First of all, my mother is a biology major, so I got a lot of influence from her. And I also like playing with nature and inside the nature, and it always provided me a great memory, so I wanted to pursue that path.
So biology is a big thing, right? I mean, what part of biology do you want to be in, or do you know yet?
First of all, I wanted to do animal science, but that's too specific for me, and I had to thought about my employment, so I decided to choose computational biology.
Awesome. Who haven't we heard from? Min?
There was one time I had so I had this appendicitis. So it was I had to be hospitalized for like 3 weeks or something, and then during that hospitalization, I started to work on a project, and I just and it was a very simple project. Just there was a certain game, and I wanted to kind of modify that game, the code, to kind of make a game that could be played fun by many people. And so I just did that for the whole 3 weeks, and I just published it somewhere in the internet. And then I realized that this had more impact than I thought. And as I saw like comments of people just telling about how fun times they had playing with what I invented, it was unbelievable, and it really gave me a strike of deep impression that okay, this is perhaps the best way I can make enrich others' lives and bring joy to other people. And from there on, my dream was just simple. I just wanted to bring joy and bring convenience to the people in their everyday lives. I didn't want like a grand purpose. If I just have to use a metaphor, I wanted to compose a music that wouldn't be recognized by other people. So when you're in a party or something, there's a music, right? But you don't recognize the music. The music kind of blends into the atmosphere. So I wanted my programs and my creations to be somewhat like that. That was my dream.
I feel like clapping after that speech.
Yeah.
Erin.
Yes. So I currently decided to go to Georgia Tech Computer Science. The reason why I chose the Georgia Tech was that Georgia Tech itself was really highly competitive, but very have passionate students in the Georgia Tech, and it is known as like 5 tech schools in America among like MIT, Carnegie Mellon, or I forgot the other things, but there are like only 5. So, and I also consider the internship part and the opportunities inside the university very importantly. So Georgia Tech had so many opportunities, and also it has some like social communication within the Korean inside the school. So I also had lots and lots of help right now with the like upper graders in Georgia Tech who are Koreans. So I was actually very influenced by my parents, especially my dad. Actually, my dad is my role model. I really want to be like him, and he is like my ideal like person that I really want to be. He is currently being a CEO of his IT company and also software engineer. And I was very influenced since I was really young. So I always watched him doing his codings, and sometimes he like very showed what he is doing about. He like shared his old like procedures, and sometimes he like showed his programs that will launch. Before the launch, he like showed me first, and I also add my ideas there even I was like in elementary school. And my family's atmosphere is very creative and bright and very talkative, and we share lots and lots of ideas. So Actually, I had like our family tradition, Idea Day. We like gather all together in the living room and then we just talk about the new ideas that can help the world and help the society. And we pick among those. And then when we choose the only one, which would be the best, we really go deep inside and almost create the blueprint and everything. Living in those really like creative atmosphere, I think it really made me to choose computer science, which has like infinite possibility that I can show my dreams. And I have lots and lots of things to make. I really want to make lots of things, lots of applications, lots of programs that can help the world. This is my like goal, my life goal. I have taught like that way and I also feel like that way. And yeah, my family tradition and my family atmosphere really made me to choose to go to computer science, and I'm really satisfied with my choice.
Well, I want to transition to what Peiston, the kind of school Peiston is and what Peiston is to you, to kind of help link you to where you are today. We've heard about our family, we've heard about, situations and events, but now how has Peiston helped you kind of get to where you are now?
So directly before I came to Peiston, I was attending public Korean high school. After I came to Peiston, I think one of the the greatest impact on me was that I had so much more time than when I was in public schools. And also, there's in public schools there's a very fixed curriculum, and there are really lot of homeworks, and everybody kind of has to follow a very set curriculum. And in Korea, computer science is not as much as a developed and very studied field as much as in the States. So it was obvious that even in high schools, when I was in high school, there was like very rare options for me to take the courses that has to do something with computer science. So I felt like I was forced to keep a distance away from my goals, and that's why I decided to move to Peiston. And when I came to Peiston, since I had a bit more time than I was in public schools, so I started to spend my free times on studying and pursuing my goals. And then after doing these for so long, I felt more confident as I knew more about this field, and then as I made a lot of things, and I felt that I was really concretizing, solidifying my goal, and it was no longer just an abstract idea I had before I came to Peiston. And also because Peiston was a Christian school, I felt that if I had not come here, I wouldn't have got this kept my relationship with God. And as I kept relationship with my God, I felt a lot of psychological support. And because Peiston is a small community, so when I stay here, unlike my previous schools, I really know everybody in my grade, and I can really talk to anybody. And as a very introverted person, it was really hard for me to just talk to strangers. But coming here, I could talk to anybody, and that really helped me improve my ability to talk, present, and kind of communicate, and which I think are also very important factors for my future goals.
So the two things that you mentioned were more time, and that meant more time to focus on what you were really passionate about. And the second one was Christian values and how that has helped you not socially, but psychologically, right? To keep your spirit in the right place and able to interact with others in a very comfortable and caring, warm environment. That's awesome. Thank you, man. So who'd like to go next?
At first, the path that I have before I came to the Peiston, I have graduated from the Korean public middle school, and then I was actually planning to go to Minsago, and I almost like got in there, but from the last test, I was like I failed, and actually it was like one of my first failure in my life, and I was like kind of like shocked about the result. But my ultimate goal was to study abroad the computer science in like foreign countries, especially in America. So I started to search for those like these kind of, what do you call it?
Like
International
International schools.
Yeah.
Yes. So first, I like that Peiston was international school based on the Christian, like those thoughts and those doctrines. And I like the Principal Daniel's mission that he wants to find our students' goal and dreams inside, like among the Christian doctrines and Christian like thoughts. I really loved the idea, and that was why I decided to come to Peiston. And Peiston was a very like influential and very big like impact to me. So inside, I think Peiston is the one that can support the students who can bring up with their ideas. They really support a lot very well. I am really thankful to Principal Daniel because when I first made the pastory application, I just brought the idea to Principal Daniel. I just knocked the door and then I just like barged into the office and then tell that I am making this kind of applications and I want your support. I want Peiston, this school, to be the first one to use my pastory application. And I think Principal Daniel was doing something. I think he was like planning some other applications, maybe from the other community. But
I can tell you that's true.
yeah,
We were actually looking into some kind of an app,
right.
and then when you came in the door, he brought the leadership in later.
Oh,
It was like,
really?
there's this great idea that one of our students has, and we got excited about it.
Oh,
So,
wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was really impressed with his like kind of like reaction because I thought maybe it's students' work and maybe it might be like lower quality than he was looking for, but he trusted me and supported me, and now pastory became a really like big, widespread app in Korea. So like looking at his passion and also other teachers' passion, I could see that Peiston really supports the students really well. And whenever I get like this much effort and this much like passion, I think this school like gives back like this kind of results. And I was really thankful with that. And I like the Christian, like those always we have morning chapel and we also have worship time, like different with other international schools. So like those parts really made me feel well in the community.
Awesome. So let's go with Andy here. Andy, what is Peiston to you? What kind of school is it? What is Peiston to you?
Until high school, I knew how to study and what to study for, but I didn't know why I want to study and what I want to do. And I came here at my 10th grade first semester. And like adapting to the curriculum, I learned what I need to know for myself rather than going into college or like upper educational institutions.
So I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying that you learned something for yourself, not just learn to get into a university. Is that what you mean? Wow. That's cool. We have a couple more. Ray and Kyla.
I think I'm going to compare a clover to Peiston. So the clovers, 3 leaves clovers represent faith, hope, and love. And I think that's what Peiston kind of is. All the teachers in Peiston have faith in you. They hope for your success. They also love you since they help you with everything they have. A lot of teachers in Peiston are always willing to help you. They're always willing to give you a chance, be by your side. So I think Peiston is really a school that has like a lot of opportunity and chances. Like it's not really blocked, or even if you have struggle with other things, they really help you. That's one thing that I thought Peiston really did offer me. They gave me a new choice when it comes to life, how to struggle, but we'll go over academic hardship and just be a better person overall.
That's cool, Ray. I like what you said because you said faith, hope, and love. And when you defined love, you started to define it. You said because the teachers, and you began to describe what the teachers do, right? It's not just, oh, they have a fuzzy feeling about me, right? Like teachers actually do things. Thank you, Ray. Kyla, let's hear from you. What is Peiston to you?
For me, throughout Peiston, I was able to experience a lot of different things. As they compare Peiston to a normal public school, in my experience in Peiston, I was able to learn music, dancing, and English, and faith. A lot of different fields without education was learned throughout my Peiston life. And because Peiston started with a small community, we could start a new thing very easily. For example, making a club or getting a help from PD or BP is not a big deal in Peiston. So we could always start new thing and always get our support from that.
You know, you guys are the 10th graduating class for Peiston. It's such a big deal. It's such a huge thing for us to celebrate. But as we do that, you all shared about your experience, how Peiston has helped you. But are there some teachers or people in particular in our school that you think has been a good influence and has helped you and just kind of carried you in being a student in high school? Are there some people that come into your mind?
Pastor Jinsu was also a teacher like that. He listened to my questions, and especially since this is a Christian school, not all students are Christians, and I also was a student that had many questions and concerns about my religion. So when I had any questions about the Bible or God or anything, he led me into his office, had a seat with me, and listened to my questions and gave him the best answers he could. And other than that, he also gave me a chance as a mentor. So he had this mentoring thingy with me and listened to my problems too.
And for Mr. Zane, I think he is our mental angel. So his nickname is the angel without wings, because he, as Andy said, he always provided lots of snacks, but that's not all. He really mentally supported us a lot whenever we have personal problems, even though he really doesn't really sleep or he has lots of works, but he doesn't really show those things in front of the students. So I learned the sacrifice from him. And at first I was quite confused, because why is he so kind? Why is he so kind? I think he needs to take care of himself or something. But as I looked for him 3 years in a row, he was always constant. And that was really respectful. And I could also learn that there's just lots of people, lot of types in the world, and I shouldn't judge them with my just really narrow perspective. And so he was mentally very protecting our students, always be our side. So Mr. Zane, Mr. Tim, yes.
Mr. Timothy, so he came to Peiston when I was in junior year. He was really just like Mr. Zane. He was always willing to listen to students' opinions, suggestions, as I learned more about him. And right now I'm in his class for 2 consecutive years, and I can really see that he has a really great passion for the school and also for the students. When I had to do something, when I had to had a problem with my college admission, or when I was choosing colleges, or even when I was having problem with certain academical aspect, and I can just always ask him about it, and then he will always provide me with a very valuable answer, and I always felt guided by whatever he said. But through him, I learned that it was not just important to achieve test grade. Numbers weren't everything. It was also about growing your own skills and growing your own repertoire. So even if you had A plus like throughout the entire semester. The grade wasn't the important thing. It was like it was about whether you really learned something, you really have a skill to carry forward, and whatever university I would attend to, the most important thing was that I have the skills and capabilities and confidence with myself on that subject rather than having a good grade on that subject. And on that part, I really respected his ideas, and he was a very inspirational figure to me.
So let's first start with Miss Sophia. So when I first came to Peiston, I was actually in her homeroom, which was back in 10th grade, and back then I was new and everything. I didn't know anything about Peiston or anything about like what this school and the teachers like, but she really made me feel comfortable the first time I came to Peiston. And she was actually also my biology teacher back in 11th grade, and as a teacher who shares the same major as me, she helped me a lot and gave me tips on like how about biology and the biology diverse, the studies of life. Even though I liked biology, there were some sections and parts that I really had trouble with in biology, and those places, Miss Sophia would always be willing to help you out and make you explore the more variety of the studies in biology, and she would always give me like confidence, encouragement about how to do this well. You know, I'd always tell her like, I'm having trouble with this, can I go to university? And she would always say, don't worry, you got this. So I was pretty happy about that. And she also, she's one of those teachers who was interested in my love for animals. So she'd always ask me like, hey, what kind of pets do you have now? Or like, what kind of animals do you keep now? And I would tell her like, oh, this time I have a snake, oh, this time I have a lizard. And she'd be like, oh, that's so amazing. And she'd always react great, and that made me feel great. So she's one of those teachers who made me have more confidence in my passion and my major. And she's also one of the first teachers that I personally got more comfortable with. So I mentioned her on this list, and she's also the teacher who wrote my recommendation letter. So I really appreciate that, and that's the reason why she's one of my top teachers. And
other teacher, I will choose Mr. Sun. He's my current language AP language teacher, and he is very happy and
he is very happy. That's true.
Happy educating me with America culture, because I never been to America. It's really hard for me to just adopt in the society without any knowledge. But he, with AP language, I could learn a lot of different culture and styles of America, and it's a lot of fun for me.
Imagine in a few years from now, you've accomplished your dream. You've hit your dream. It's beyond anything you can imagine. How are you going to then give back to society?
I was thinking about if I get enough knowledge and technology skills, I was thinking of creating those kind of inventions, renewing them so that anyone can afford the help they need. That's my dream.
Excellent. Kyla, how about you?
I will just live my life as with my faith and with my roles in family and in the community. I just wanted to show them how I live and how I overcome the difficulty with faiths and also with good energies. So I hope that worked throughout my life.
Excellent.
People always used to have these misconceptions like these animals are dangerous, like they're not really belonged in this world, and I kind of want to fix that in the future and tell them that these animals might not be the animals that you really look forward to, like dogs or cats, but they have their own specific characteristics and things that makes them exotic and a lot different and special. And that's why I want to educate people about these animals in the near future. And the other thing is that these days there are a lot of wildlife and animals out there that are being extinct or driving to extinction, and I really want to fix this part, and I want to make the wildlife conservation to save these animals from going extinct. So that's my another career in the future. That way I can work with my love for animals and my career for saving these animals and educating people about them. So that's basically the job that I really want to do in the future.
My dream is to become software engineer and also CEO. So I have always dreamed since I was young to make lots of free, like no like charge, no money programs to all of the world that can influence until like the people who are in Africa or other really small places in Korea, very poor. While achieving those goals, I really want to help the world all brighter and really become like more happier inside God's bless. So that's my goal.
One of my passions is to make like all these advancing programs available to other people, because as the technology advances, I'm sure that the devices that we currently have or we have in the past already is becoming cheaper and cheaper and being more available to other people. But so if I can, as a render engineer, be able to kind of optimize the system, the program, so that it works and runs on lower devices, I will be able to help the program spread and have it more accessible to other people.
I'm really encouraged because I think it's great that our students graduating are going to go out and probably one thing can't change the world, but I think when the 5 of you combine, at least 5 can. And I think that's encouraging to know that our graduates are moving to change the world. So we're really thankful for your time, and I think we just had a great conversation together.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's so encouraging to sit here and listen, just as Pastor VP David said as well. So that being said, we're finished here. So 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you.